Today's video has no sources, no big headlines, no action items per se. I just want to tell you a story. This morning I got a text from a friend that I met through an online Nerdfighteria forum some time ago. She started off by asking me if she was correct in remembering that I identified as LGBTQ+. I said yes. What followed was an awkward couple minutes, but soon her purposes became clear. She told me she thought she might be asexual, but she was hesitant, unsure of how to proceed. She'd read a little bit about it, and she thought that it described her, but she was worried that she was just projecting. I congratulated her for starting to explore this part of herself, and then offered to help her along her way. Immediately, it was clear that this was what she was after. Some companionship, someone to guide her, someone to help her understand. And so I told her it was very possible that she could be asexual, even if she didn't fit the description, because there are as many ways to be asexual as there are people who identify that way. The news that there was a spectrum, one she could even maybe locate herself on, was a game changer. She wanted to know more about this spectrum, and where could she fit on it? I explained how the levels of sexual attraction one can feel may vary, from absolutely none whatsoever, to occasional, to even something called demisexuality, which is only experiencing sexual attraction after an emotional bond. I talked about how even pure asexuality has different forms, and that really the only thing that makes a person asexual is a lack of sexual attraction. She seemed so relieved, and she told me that it made a lot more sense. Later on, after a lull in conversation, she asked me a few more questions. I happily answered them, relating my own stories about realizing my queer identity, and explaining how it's different for every single person. We talked about how complex sexuality, and especially asexuality, could be, and how she related to the different kinds of attraction. She described to me how she often saw people who she knew were attractive, but she never really felt any kind of sexual urges towards them. I explained the concept of aesthetic attraction, and it blew her mind. Each new vocabulary word throughout this conversation seemed to elevate her. Even though we were only texting, I could practically feel her radiating excitement. "OMG, there's a word for that!" she exclaimed to me. "That's incredible. I just can't believe there are proper words for what I'm experiencing. It's amazing to me what simply finding out that there are words for you, that there are people like you, can do. From the bottom of my heart, I want that for everyone. I want everyone to feel as happy and at home with themselves as my friend did today. And the way to do that is through education and representation. That's why I do what I do. Thank you for watching.
Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers.